Hey everyone, finish watching the next episode of Jungle Fury. Good karma, bad karma. Dai revives Carnosaur. He then challenges him to a fight. They appear almost evenly matched, but Carnosaur is slightly stronger. Dai pledges loyalty to him. Carnosaur says that Dai heart of a man is his weakness, and takes him to the past to confront his humanity. Dai sees Jared's past. In elementary school, Jared once refused to cheat on a test. Carnosaur alters the scene. Young Jared now agrees to cheat. At Jungle Karma Pizza, a boy comes in and puts a quarter in an arcade cabinet. It doesn't work. It's out of order. Casey shows him that the sign fell off the machine, but won't give his money back. Okay, ever since I first watched this years ago, this has always been a huge WTF. Just give the kid back his quarter. He didn't even pay for anything. If anything, it's the establishment's fault for not making it clear the machine didn't work. Maybe the machine isn't theirs, so they don't have a key to it, but that's not what Casey says. He says it's their policy not to give refunds. The kid swipes Casey's tip from a nearby table, and I'm so sorry, but why would I feel sympathy for Casey after he was so petty he wouldn't give a kid his quarter back for something that was essentially his own failed responsibility? Like, yeah, stealing the tip was wrong, but look at the title of this episode. Good karma, bad karma. Shouldn't have been so petty, Casey. Now look what happened. That's karma. How much you want to bet this episode flips it and doesn't view Casey in the wrong at all? Casey then chases the kid halfway across town. He finds him at a toy store looking at a kite in a toy store window. Casey tells the kid about when he was younger he thought about stealing something, but instead he mowed his neighbor's lawn and earned the money for it. He tells the kid that it's his choice and walks away. Okay, I'm confused. If the kid needed money for a kite, why did he put his quarter in the arcade cabinet? It's implied that's all the money he has. Shouldn't he have just gone in and swiped the money without all the nonsense with the arcade cabinet? The writing here is so needlessly convoluted, and all it serves is to make Casey look like a petty asshole. What's so frustrating about all this is that simply cutting out the arcade cabinet thing would make this all flow so much better. Okay, back to the episode. The Rin-Chi attacks the city and the Rangers jump into action. The monster's slippery slime allows him to evade attacks and get away. The Rangers go back to Jungle Karma covered in slime. Back with Daishi and Carnosaur, they're at a family picnic on a farm. As a child, Jared raised money for this family and helped them to keep their farm. Carnosaur alters the scene. The family disappears and the farm becomes dilapidated. Back in the present, Casey walks down to the toy store and he sees the kid from earlier. He bought the kite. The kid sees Casey and hangs his head in shame. Alright, enough of that, back to Carnosaur and Daishi. They're now seeing young Jared being beat up by bullies. He wouldn't fight back despite knowing Kung Fu. Carnosaur changes the scene. Jared now fights back, leaving the bullies in crying heaps. Alright, now back to Casey and the kid. The kid says he'll pay him back, but Casey says he can't trust him. He decided the kite was worth more than his integrity. Again, kinda hollow after Casey was so petty he wouldn't give the kid back one quarter. Does he not think that didn't create a trust issue for the kid? He experienced what's basically theft from an adult, and then stole money off a table, which that same adult is now guilting him over. I'd love for a therapist to analyze this episode. That kid is going to have some complexes. The monster shows up and thankfully interrupts the conversation. Oh, Theo and Lily show up, and Casey tells the kid to hide. The kid asks why, and Casey tells him, because you're a thief. Power Rangers don't like thieves. It would be such a simple thing to just cut the scene with the arcade cabinet, and all of this would work just fine. Casey tells the kid he can't have it both ways. You're either a good guy or a bad guy. Okay, so by that logic, Casey can't be both an okay, cool guy and an asshole. And since I don't see him returning the kid's quarter, which the kid only lost due to Casey's negligence, I guess that makes Casey an asshole. The kid agrees to return the kite. Casey joins the fight against the monster. He uses the kite to avoid touching the monster, thus avoiding his slime. The monster grows, but they destroy it with the Megazord. One positive, Flit isn't here to ruin everything. Maybe there was a quota for asshole characters, and Casey is, like, far and away filling that role. At Daishi's temple, Camille meets Carnosaur. He's harsh on her for failing, and Daishi follows his example. Camille hides from them and immediately plots against Carnosaur. At Jungle Karma Pizza, Casey reveals he's breaking child labor laws by employing the kid from earlier and only paying him in quarters. Oh, how whimsical. What a garbage episode. The weird thing about this episode is that I never hear anybody talk about it, at least not the main focus. Casey and the kid. The only part I've ever heard people discuss is Daishi and Carnosaur going into the past. I guess it's a situation like Fighting Spirit. Fans only remember the brief, cool parts and not the majority of the rest of the episode that's painfully mediocre. Daishi and Carnosaur's whole thing is definitely the more interesting part of everything going on, but it has its own issues. How do Carnosaur's powers work exactly? Is he actually changing the past or just affecting Jared's memories? The duality of Jared and Daishi is confusing in itself. Who's more in control? Before this, it seemed like Jared was just a vessel and Daishi was in complete control. Here, though, especially in the past, it seems like Jared is the one more in control. The monster plot is fine. The monster has a unique ability that requires creative thinking on the Ranger's side to defeat. I like those kinds of plots, and as the series goes on, we get less and less of them. The monster of the day is Slickagon, voiced by Robert Mignault, whatever. He voiced many other one-off monsters. Carnosaur is the other new guy this episode. He was voiced by Cameron Rhodes. He's provided some voices for some iconic monsters over the years, including Matumbo in Mystic Force, and Professor Cog in Samurai and Megaforce. On screen, he was also Marty the Mackerel in Dino Thunder. That's fitting that an episode that annoyed me to the point where I stopped watching as a kid has an actor who came up in an episode that also made me stop watching Jungle Fury. The one thing that really hurts this episode is Casey and the kid's story. Honestly, that one single scene with the arcade cabinet just ruins any potential for Casey to teach anyone anything. I'm shocked that no one behind the scenes considered for a moment how much this hurts his character. The ending as well, while I was just joking about Casey breaking child labor laws, the scene I think shows how sloppy the writing is here. It's played off as cute and reasonable, while in the real world this would be pretty terrible. Power Rangers often has its own in-universe logic. You can breathe in space, the moon has an atmosphere, but kids being employed and paid slave wages, really? There's fun sci-fi stuff, but then there's this. I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this, and that's part of the problem. Jungle Fury wasn't intended to be thought about. It's throwaway kids content for kids and no one else. Good karma, bad karma. Maybe this is the bad karma that led to Disney canceling the show. Actually, Jungle Fury as a whole, so far, makes it clearer than ever why Disney just wanted the show over, if this is what they were getting. That's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
What in God's name is he doing?
I believe that's the worm.